everyone, welcome to the first pre-recorded yin. Bear with me, I'm going to try and do this in one take, so yeah, it will be a little bit like a class. There may be some stuttering over words, but yeah, we're just going to just go with the flow this evening. So it's going to be a 60-minute yin. You don't need blocks. If you don't have blocks at home, don't worry. We're going to make this as accessible to you all as possible. If you do want to buy blocks, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, you can do any kind of yin sequence just with your mat, a blanket and some pillows or cushions. So yeah. What we're going to work on today is we're going to work on grounding and calming the central nervous system. We are all in a heightened state of uncertainty, so what I really want you to be able to do is just find some calmness for an hour and just really allow yourself to just come back into your body. We're up here a lot at the moment because we're not sure what's going on with the world and what's going on day to day, so it can be really anxiety inducing, so I really just encourage you to just centre yourself as much as you can and just rest where you can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of links to some yin playlists from Spotify. You don't need to have a paid Spotify account to use Spotify. My yin playlists have got songs that are 75 minutes, so I'm pretty certain that you won't get an advert during the song. It's just in between songs, so it shouldn't interrupt the sequence. I hope so anyway. Okay, so to start with, what I want you to do is I want you to take a nice comfortable lying down position, whatever that may look like for you. So just take yourself onto your back. Take your legs either long, or maybe you want to bring the knees up, knock the knees together, and just allow the knees to fall in, and just bring the palms, even the hands down by your sides, or on your stomach, and on your chest. And all I want you to do now is close the eyes down. Become aware of the points of contact that your body has with the ground. Noticing the natural ebb and flow of your breath, not changing the breath just yet, just watching the natural ebb and flow. Just maybe becoming aware of any tension held within the face, in particular around the jaw. Just trying to release the tension in the face. Maybe giving the jaw a little bit of a wiggle, pretending you're yawning. And as you start to open the jaw, you'll notice the tension that's kind of culminated there. I think we're all guilty of holding tension in the jaw. It's quite a natural thing to do, but what we want to do now is just release it. And then we're going to slowly start to lengthen the breath. So we're going to start to inhale and breathe down deep into the belly. So the belly starts to expand. And then we're going to slowly exhale, release through the nose. And again, whenever you're ready, inhaling all the way down to the belly, expanding the belly, expanding the chest. And when you're ready to exhale, slowly releasing, letting go here. Maybe starting to squeeze the belly in towards the spine. And just continuing on with these breaths for a few moments. Trying to bring your awareness down from the thinking mind and into the body. Using the breath to help you move down into the body. Knowing for the next 60 minutes that this is your time. Your time to come back to your centre, to forget about the world around you, and to really take care of yourself. We're going to start to move into our first posture. So we're going to start to bring our soles of the feet together and allow the knees to come out to the sides of the mat. You can either have blocks or cushions under the knees if you want to go for something a bit more restorative, so something a bit more gentle, or you can just allow the knees to fall out normally and just kind of allow gravity to do the work for you. Whichever one you choose, just start to set yourself up and get cozy. We're going to be in this posture for about 4 minutes. So just close the eyes down, bring your hands and your stomach either to your chest, and then slowly, or you can slowly take the arms up overhead, whichever one feels best for you right now. And just finding stillness. Breathing into the belly. Noticing the sensations around the hips. Noticing the sensations within the full body. The physical sensations, the emotional sensations. What's coming up for you right now? Keeping your awareness on the breath. Breathing down into the belly. expanding the belly, the chest. As you exhale, squeezing the belly in towards the spine, releasing the chest down. Continuing on here with the breath. We've got about another 30 seconds here. So just settling in for the last 30 seconds. And then if you've got any bolsters or cushions under the knees, just gently remove them away. Start to draw your knees in towards your chest, start to hug them in. If you need to take any movements here, feel free to rock from side to side. Or maybe you want to just release the hands back, release the knees down to one side and just window wipe the legs from side to side. Just taking again a couple more moments here, taking any movements you need to. And then you're going to end with your knees in towards your chest, your arms out in a cactus position. From here, you're going to inhale nice and deeply into the belly once more. And you're going to exhale and allow your knees to naturally fall over towards the right side. The knees will be slightly apart here. You have the option of taking a block or a cushion under the bottom knee, or you can take a block or a cushion in between the knees. Just anything that makes you feel comfortable here. And then you have the option of keeping your gaze up towards the ceiling, or you can take your gaze away from the knees. And again, when you're settled in this posture, bring your focus back to the breath. Inhaling deeply into the belly and exhaling slowly. Continuing on with your breath. Noticing where you feel this posture the most. Noticing where your mind is wandering. And seeing if you can bring it back to the breath. Taking 3 more slow, steady breaths here. And then when you're ready, slowly inhale and draw the knees up to center. And as you exhale, you're going to exhale slowly, lowering them over towards the left side. Taking any variation you did, again on this side. Option to gaze up or away from the knees. The one thing that's important here is if you notice that one shoulder is coming off the ground, draw it back down towards the ground. Noticing any sensations within the spine as we're in this spinal twist. Maybe also around the front of the shoulder and chest, the lower back, maybe the hip. Just noticing what's coming up for you in this posture. So your knees are already over towards the left side. So what I want you to do now is completely roll over onto your left side. And you're going to just take a moment here just to allow the spine to reset. And then you're going to slowly start to bring yourself up to seated. And you're going to have the soles of the feet together. So you're making a wide diamond shape. So the heels aren't close in, they're nice and wide. You have the option of just falling forwards and just folding down naturally. Or if you want to, you can take a pillow, cushion or block on your legs and just allow for some support there. So just start to set yourself up in your posture. If you've got a block, you can bring it to the feet and just kind of rest there. Whatever feels good. And just settle in. Settle into this posture. We're working the hips, also working around the back. So just notice where you feel this posture the most. Where are the tight areas within your body? Noticing the mind. Noticing what's going on for you in these moments of silence, of stillness. Are you able to stay more focused within the body, or is the mind taking over? And it will fluctuate. One moment you'll be in the body, really deep in the posture and the sensations. And then the next moment the mind will start to take you on a journey. And that's completely normal. But our practice today in particular is trying to control being in the body as much as possible. Not getting frustrated when we're not in the body, because every day is a practice. We all have our minds controlling us to a certain extent. All we need to be is aware. And when we notice that the thinking mind is taking over, we drop back down towards the breath and the body. And you're going to very slowly start to inhale and roll yourself back up. Remove the blocks and props away from you. Bring the knees together, hands come behind you, and window at the knees from side to side, just releasing any tension here. And then when you're ready, all you're going to do now is take the legs long. So coming into another fold. There's no tension in the legs at all. This is completely passive. You have again the option of just folding forwards, or you can start to build a pile of blocks or cushions, whatever works best for you. Just hug it in, support the head, whatever you need. And again, as soon as you've settled into this posture, just become aware of the sensations that this posture brings. Not just the physical ones, but the emotional ones. We store emotions in our physical body, in particular around the hips and the heart. Sometimes when we're in certain postures, it can bring emotions up to the surface. Whatever the emotion is, it's important not to resist. If you can meet that emotion in the moment, just allow it to sit there, knowing that every emotion is welcome. And just try to breathe through the discomfort if it's an uncomfortable emotion, or just breathe through the joy if it's bringing you contentment. Keeping your awareness on the breath. And then with your next inhalation, you're going to inhale and roll your upper body back up. Maybe roll the shoulders back a few times if that feels good. Remove the blocks to the side. And then you're going to come into a tabletop position for a moment. And what I want you to do is just bring a little bit of movement into the body. So we're just going to wiggle the hips and wiggle the shoulders. Just starting to open up the back. Maybe you want to do a few rounds of cat-cow. Whatever feels good, just move the body. And then when you're ready, you're going to walk the knees back and you're going to start to bring yourself onto your stomach and onto your hips, coming into a Sphinx pose. Fingers are spread wide, elbows are in close to the body, and your head's going to be gazing forwards. Push the chest forwards, legs are apart here. And then very slowly you're going to roll the chin along the chest. So drop the right ear down towards the right shoulder and just roll the chin along the chest. Just a few times forwards, one way and then the other. Just pausing if there are any sticky points in the neck and breathing into the neck. And then when you're ready, you're going to come back to centre. And what you're going to do here is you're just going to settle in. What naturally tends to happen in this pose, the longer we hold it, is we start to collapse down. You need to check in with yourself once you've noticed you've collapsed down. So you just have to push through the forearms to lift yourself back up once you get there. And breathe. Breathe here. Notice how it feels to breathe when you're on your belly. Closing the eyes down. This is a completely inward practice here, so as much as you can, keep your eyes closed. Checking in with the sensations in the lower back. We're going to take 5 more slow, steady breaths here. And then in your own time, start to curl the toes under, push through the forearms to start to bring yourself into a tabletop position. Feel free to just take any movements you need to here that feel good for you as you release the lower back. And then when you're ready, bring the big toes together, take the knees out wide, bring the hips down towards the heels, walk the hands forward, coming into a wide-legged child's pose. And starting to settle in here. Noticing the sensations here. For some it can be quite a challenge, for some it can be really relaxing and nurturing. Wherever you are on that spectrum, just enjoy it. Embrace whatever this pose brings up for you. Are you still focused on your breath? Or has your mind started to take you off on another journey? We're going to take 5 more breaths here. Long, slow and steady breaths. So when you're ready, slowly start to walk your hands back, come into a tabletop position. Again, if you need to take any movements here, feel free to just use this next couple of moments to just wiggle, move, anything that feels good. And we're going to start to bring ourselves back down to the ground. So we're coming into our an assisted fish back bend. So if you have a block, cool. If not, don't worry. You can fashion a prop out of a cushion, or if you've got an extra yoga mat, you can roll the yoga mat up. What we're going to do is we're going to make our prop into something that can fit reasonably comfortably in between the shoulder blades. And we're going to lay it down on the ground, and we're going to slowly start to lean back into it. So we're just starting to get a bit of an opening in the chest and starting to settle down. The head will come back. If the head's floating off the ground, take another pillow or something under it if it's uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be a super back bend. We're just starting to open out the chest. Bring your palms down to the sides. Option to allow the knees to fall out, or you can take the legs long. And again, if you're struggling with your pillow kind of collapsing down under you, you can use 2 cushions, pillows, or find something to keep the cushion kind of stable, so you can wrap something in it if that works better. And then just settling in here. Sometimes you need to take a few adjustments to get the prop into place, so feel free to just shimmy it around until you find your sweet spot. And then start to bring your awareness in towards the chest, the heart center. We're working on opening the heart. Right now, it's so important that we live more in our hearts than in our heads. In times of uncertainty, we need to really start to live our lives more with compassion, kindness and love. Not only to the people who are close to us, but also to complete strangers. This is our time to unify as a collective, as the human race. Because in reality, we are just one race. And it's important for us to remember that in times of struggle. Noticing how the breath feels in this very open and expansive posture. And noticing what's coming up for you in this open and expansive posture. Not resisting anything that's here. Allowing it to be there and breathing through it, whatever it may be. So we're going to start to shift out of this posture now. So all you need to do is just remove the prop from underneath you. Just keep it to the side. We're going to be using it again in a moment. But feel free, bring the back down to the ground and just take a breath here in whatever position you find yourself in. And then when you're ready, start to bring the heels in towards you. We're coming into an assisted bridge pose. So when you're ready, you're going to push down through the feet and you're going to take your prop and pop it under your bum. So you're going for more, the prop's going to be more towards your bum than your lower back. If you have it on your lower back, it can be a bit uncomfortable. So keep your heels in towards the body to start with. Keep your hands down by your sides with your palms face up to start with, and we'll go deeper into this posture once more in a couple of minutes. Noticing the breath once more. Noticing the area around the lower back and the hips. And we're going to just have another 30 seconds or so with the heels in towards the body. And then you're welcome to stay as you are. Or if you want to walk the legs long along your mat, you're welcome to. And then you have the option here of taking the arms up overhead to the floor beneath you, above you. And just settling in here. Just another 30 seconds or so here. Really trying to breathe deeply into the belly. This is a really expansive posture. And really just letting everything go. Anything that no longer serves you, with your exhalation, just let it go. Let it leave the body. And then when you're ready, slowly start to bring the heels back in towards the body. Bring the hands back down towards your hips. Push down through the feet to lift the hips up so that you can remove your prop. From here, gently start to bring yourself straight into happy baby. So here you can grab hold of the shins, ankles, or the feet. And you're just going to start to draw the shoulders down and pause here. This is our final posture before Shavasana. Maybe you want to invite a little bit of movement in here. And then if you feel good, just coming back to stillness. taking 3 more breaths here. And then when you're ready, release the legs or the feet, bring the knees in towards you, hug the knees in towards your chest, and just take any final movements here that feel good for you. You're welcome to bring a blanket over the body as you start to stretch the legs long, down the mat. Palms flat, palms down by your side with your palms up towards the ceiling. The fingers curled in naturally here. Maybe you want to just take your head rocking from side to side, just to release any last tension in the neck. And just allow yourself to soften and settle in to the ground beneath you. Allowing a stillness to come over the body and over the mind. Taking your time here, knowing that you are welcome to rest for as long as you need. Make sure that when you do start to move and get up, that you have the opportunity to make yourself a nice cup of tea, and maybe just to sit in silence for 5-10 minutes, just allowing the practice to really filter in deeply. Thank you for joining me. Hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Namaste.